Hello, welcome to the waitlist for Revival Dance. I just want to start off by saying that I am so happy you're here. And I know that I said I would be giving you behind the scenes and updates and all of that. So here's my first update for you, and here's my first behind the scenes. And that is to just say, first of all, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And I just feel inclined to share a little bit about revival dance and what it is and how it came to be and my intention with it and why I'm so passionate about it and why it needs to be out there. And that is why I am here now with you sharing it. So revival dance, I want to say it was conceived about a year ago. And it literally took about 9 months for it really to be, out there in existence, which I think is pretty cool. And there's a lot to say with the number 9 in this, being that there are 9 portals, which I'll get into in a moment. But revival dance came as I was going through about a 2-year journey in really a lot of soul searching and seeking of what is it that I'm here to do, and what is my medicine, and who am I? And this is during a time of so much loss of self and so much grief that I was carrying, not just for myself, but for the world and for others. And if you're most likely a sensitive soul and an empath as I am, and really learning how to live in my sovereignty around what I'm feeling and what I'm sensing and what my passion is, which is really bringing a woman into her wholeness and into her fullest self-expression, and bringing her fully, completely in love with herself and in her body. And there was a moment in time that I was out in Colorado at this event that I was at that has really been such a catalyst to where I've become, where I'm coming now, and to revival dance. And it was the last day of the weekend, and the music was playing, and we were all dancing. And I took a moment to dance with one of the sisters that was dancing next to me, and I just danced around her, really in my fullest self-expression, which was not the case the whole weekend. I was really way more reserved and in my shell. And after that, I had a moment, and I don't know if you've had one of these, where it's nothing I can ever explain. It really isn't. I literally dropped to the floor to my knees, and I started crying, and there was this light about me. And sometimes if I'm crying in a group or something, I'm looking around oh, I hope, I don't look stupid, or, whatever's going on. And I just bawled. And the beautiful thing was, I don't even think anybody saw me. It was I was completely in my own little world, and something happened. I had touched my stomach actually at the time, and something happened in my body. And, it doesn't surprise me, being that dance has always been the way that I reconnect with myself. It's always been the way that I tap back into my joy. And I'm not a professional dancer. I took dancing when I was little, and then I quit around my teens because it wasn't cool anymore. And as the sensitive, empathic being that I was, really conformed to my surroundings, and within that lost myself along the way. And as many of you do know my story already, which led to a lot of, self-hate and sabotage and destruction with an eating disorder. And from there, a lot of other body health complications and addictions. And, then dance again was the thing that brought me back into union with my body. And I have quite a story that I'm not going to go into throughout this whole video right now, because I don't want this to be too long. But I do have a story which I will be sharing when this revival dance launch begins in January, about my journey with dance and what it looked like, and what it looked like when it came to my body and grief and all of that. Because what's so special about revival dance is that it really has become a compilation of what I've learned and what I've experienced within my own body intuitively, and the teachings that I've gotten in the trainings, and not in dance specific, but with all of these modalities that I wasn't sure what to do with, coming together in this succession of these 9 portals. Because my passion, which I said already, is really holding such a safe, sacred space for women to be who they are, to feel everything that they're meant to feel, the good, the bad, and be in a safe container and a safe space to do that, and to be told it's okay to feel, but also to hold them in their glory and their power and their beauty and their light. Because God, if I mean, I think about the world right now and how so many of us are walking around asleep and can't see our own beauty and can't see our own light. And that was my journey, through not just my eating disorder, out of loss of control for self and many other reasons. I went through years, and it still can come up for me here and there with body dysmorphia. And it's a really scary and sad place to be. And I think that is why it hurts me so bad when a woman can't recognize and see her own light and her own beauty. And I can feel the emotion about it, because it is something that is just, you know, so important for me as I'm talking to you right now, that you see your light and that you see your beauty and that you see your divine nature. um, Revival dance, it's different. It's a little different than something that you may have experienced when it comes to another dance therapy or any type of dancing. It literally, I'm extremely intentional when it comes to the music that I choose and what are the rhythms in it for each portal, each thing that each woman is, moving through. And I will share the portals when the program goes live. That's something that's really sacred about it, because it's a little bit of a surprise. Um, but the beauty about it is, in the end, and why it's called revival dance, is because you will be revived. Like, your spirit will be completely revived. And even though you go through the 9 different portals, it is different every time. And there is different music and whatnot. But this started as, I was going through this this journey, like I said, and recognizing that dance has always been my tool. It's always been my medicine. And it's interesting how for so many years I was doing my coaching and my mentoring and my energy healing, and something was always missing. There was some like excitement and like a part of my self-expression that had gotten squashed, which was, being in my light, within my joy and my goofiness and my bliss. That's where dance brought me. That's where dance has always brought me to. And when I say dance, I want to be really clear that this is about moving your body to the rhythm of your body. It's not necessarily, this is not a choreographed dance, and it's not that it needs to be moved in a certain way with the music. I've done a couple where there was, a couple women just lying on the ground and like tapping their arms on the ground and moving their head and their body, like that's what their body wanted to do. So it's really your flavor. It's really whatever your body is feeling called to do within this. So what else do I want to share? Yeah, I'll give you a little ins to, this will be out for purchase next week. So I want to let you know that you're the first to know that. And I just want to emphasize too that, there's going to be a lot of, well, no, I want to emphasize first that I really wanted to make this accessible for everyone and anyone. And so there is going to be an incredible introductory, investment for this. When I say introductory, meaning I'm doing this for the first time online. Like I said, I've held live classes and I've led and facilitated other dance, circles and classes, but this is my baby. And this is the journey that I have brought myself through so many times. That has been my healing journey. And I want to share it with you because I've seen the transformation happen. I've seen the beauty happen, and I love that it's in community with women that are going to be going through this online. And I just want to emphasize again as well that I am super, super intentional about holding sacred, safe space and about creating a container of so much beauty for you to experience. And speaking of beauty, if you look above, there's a banner there with the Revival Dance and its logo, and letting you in a little behind the scenes. That was created by my amazingly talented husband, as I shared with him exactly my vision, which came out so beautiful. It's pretty simple, but I already knew that if you know anything about sacred geometry, the Pisces Vesica and the triangle, the pyramid, were the two main elements that I really needed to have in this logo. And for several reasons, and a few because intuitively came to me in a vision, not exactly like that, but what he put together. But also, this is where we as sensitive and empaths like need to pay attention to our bodies, our intuition, surrender to the guidance that nature is bringing us forth. I went on a medicine walk with the question of what is revival dance and what do you need to show me about it? And I landed right at a sacred site, which was a Pisces Vesica. And I sat there and I listened, and it's the sacred union of the divine feminine and the masculine and fertility. And there was another medicine walk I did where like literally I'm watching the river and I'm just standing there watching it, and this huge massive fish comes up right in the middle. So if you know anything or want to look it up, a Pisces Vesica has a lot to do with like fish, and it being I don't want to go too much into it, so you can look that up. But also the pyramid being the temple, the body temple, and resembling mind, body, spirit, mother, God, father, and so much more that goes along with that. But I just wanted to share that with you because it's fairly new and I'm super excited about it, and the way that it's composed and in its goldness, it again has a lot of symbolic meaning to it. So like I said, there's so much intention going into this that is anchoring the space and the energy for revival dance as this grows and becomes something astronomical, because that is my vision. And so I want you to really be a part of this first phase. So just stay with me and bear with me, and I'm going to be sharing with you some other stuff that I'm moving through, like right now, the music and the sounds and the songs and what I'm really choosing as I tap deeper and deeper into the container that's going to be joining, the women that are going to be joining. One other thing I will mention, if you don't know much about me, I do specialize working with empathic and sensitive women because I am one. And I am super tuned in and tapped in to what it is that the women work with me and are in my space need. I've done a lot of research on empaths, and I'm actually learned of a molecular empath, which when I learned of it, my mouth dropped, and really explained myself and my journey, and even how I have gotten wounded or traumatized, so to speak, due to the enmeshment that I can do when I'm not in my mastery being an empath. And when I say that, it's because with a molecular empath, it's like your auras are almost enmeshed. Like I can look at somebody and know pretty much who they are and how they react and what are their blocks are and what do they need to move, what do they need in order to move through something. And it's not something I always talked about. For one, I thought everybody did. That's why I became so shy, because I thought everybody must see right through me, and in another way, it's given me so many gifts that I can offer others in terms of holding that space and having that level of understanding. And also my journey moving through so much grief and so much different levels of trauma, so that I can really relate to what you might be moving through, or what the women I'm working with moving through. And that's why within the revival dance container, that is a lot of what happens. But I also want to say that I am super, super clear that, and this is from experience, that I've created revival dance so that you come out alive and revived like you have never, ever been or felt before. Because there is no reason to go through a grueling process of healing. There's no reason to go through, sometimes it doesn't feel well, And we need to feel. And that's another reason why revival dance exists, because we need to feel what's going on inside of us. And this is where the world will heal. When we stop disassociating from our body, when we stop making ourselves wrong, but really remembering who we are at the deepest core of who we are, our essence, not forgetting anymore, not having that amnesia, and really just reclaiming the pieces that we have left behind or where we gave our power away, going into such an amazing rhythmic trance of just reclaiming, remembering, releasing what no longer serves us, to the point that we are so alive and revived that our spirit is screaming out to the world our desires, and they're coming at us and all this amazing stuff. So I am a true testament of like what this can do for someone. And I have watched other women move through this in some of my live practices, and now I'm bringing it online, and it's coming, and it's here, and it's going to be starting in January. So mid to end January, it will be starting. So I just want to thank you for being here, and stay tuned in and tapped in, because I'm going to be sharing a lot more with you. And I really do hope you join when this goes live and it goes out there for you to say yes to next week. That is if all goes well. I'm going to be really transparent here, by the way. Like, if you're an entrepreneur or you know how things work behind the scenes, it's not easy. So my intention is to put it out there. And like I said, I'm an open book, and I'm going to be really, 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 really honest and transparent with you as to what I'm moving through. So I hope you enjoy that. I'm all about vulnerability, because that is where our strength is. So again, I just want to say thank you again for being here, tuned in for more, and I will see you soon. And by the way, if you have any questions at all, I am very responsive. You can usually reply within 24 to 48 hours, usually less than 48, but you can reply to this email and ask me any questions. You can find me on Facebook, Dana Canetto, and I also have a beautiful private Facebook group. If you're not joined in already, you could see the link below, but it's also www.facebook.com/groups/Body Divinity Tribe, and there's a beautiful tribe of women in there. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I look forward to sharing more with you, and I hope you have an amazing, amazing, amazing day and rest of the week. Bye.